Hi y'all, it's Charlene from the Crafty Art Shack, and we're back here today with another challenge video. I'll tell you more about that in a little bit, so let's get on with the crafts. Let's go! Here we go with DIY number 1. Alright, let's get started with this craft. Now, I got these tobacco baskets from the same lady that gifted me all that stuff last year after the end of the season, and what I'm doing here is I took apart the basket, and what I'm doing is I'm going to make a hanger for the basket. Now this one ended up being too short, so I'm going to make another one that's a little bit longer, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is I got this home sign from Hobby Lobby, and I think I only paid like, what does that say, $1.49? And we're just going to paint it white with this Rust-Oleum Linen White chalk paint. Now, if this was wood, I would usually put a napkin or tissue paper on it with a glue stick and then do the burn method. But because this is cardboard, I didn't want to do that. So I am going to paint this thing completely white with the Rust-Oleum Linen White chalk paint. I'm not going to paint the backside because I am going to glue it on it, and I don't want that chalk paint to hinder anything that I'm doing. Now I got these picks from the same lady. I got a case of those, and I got a case of those white flowers that are laying there. And I got a case of these tobacco baskets. Yeah, sounds like I was trying to say Tabasco. Sometimes I get ahead of myself. But anyway, we're going to take and wire this on. You guys, fall is my favorite time of the year, aside from winter and aside from spring. And summer has not been my most favorite time of the year lately. I used to love to see summer come around, but I don't go to the beach as much as I used to for health reasons. But anyway, back to this. We're going to get these put in there. Now, I did put a little bit of glue on that wire so that it doesn't scratch anybody's door. And we are making like this could be a wall hanging, or it could be, I'm showing you where these came from. I don't know where they came from. It might have been the Dollar Tree or the Dollar General or the Family Dollar. I'm not sure. But if y'all know those tags, then you'll know where she got them from. Anyway, we're going to take these flowers apart and glue these in here and create our own design in here. Now, I like to lay things in place first and then start gluing down. That way I know where I want them. And we're going to use as little wire as possible because we don't want anything that's going to scratch their door to be on the back side of this. And like I said, this could be a wall hanger or a wreath for your front door. Now, I'm speeding this up so that y'all can kind of see what's going on and what I'm doing and how I'm adding these little pieces into here. And what you do to one side, you want to do to the other side, or you want to create something. I don't know, you guys, I just stick it in there. I don't really know my thought process. You're supposed to do the same thing to one side that you do to the other side, but sometimes you don't have everything, so you don't do it that way. But I'm making sure everything is glued down really good in this, and then I'm going to go back to my home sign. I'm going to take both this Sunkissed Peach and Corn Silk, and I am going to double dip my brush. When I mean double dip, half of my brush is in one color and half is in the other color. And you're going to follow the same directions on this piece when you reload your brush and you come back to it. Make sure your brush is flipped the right way. And this automatically highlights it for you as you're doing it. Now, these two colors are very similar, so this is going to be a very faint fade, and I'm showing you there what it looks like. And I did this because I wanted it to match my colors in my wreath, and the white was just too white, so I needed to change it. So then after I got that done, then I put me some of that chocolate bar by Apple Barrel on my little tray, lid, whatever you want to call it there. And I'm adding water to the paint because the water helps thin out the paint and lets it flow better when you're trying to do detail work. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some highlights on these letters, and I just want it to be very faint, and I'm not going to have it in all the places. It's just going to be in some of the places so it kind of looks highlighted. And I'm going to do this throughout the whole piece. And then I'm going to glue it down to our little basket and make sure it's on there good. And then the next thing that I'm going to do after I get this glued on is we're going to make us a messy bow. And I didn't figure y'all needed to see all that cutting, but this is how we're going to lay everything out. And then we are going to take one of those and tie it in the center. And after we're done with that, we're going to glue down our tie that we made to hang things with. And then we're going to glue our little messy bow on there. And then we will see this at the final reveal. All right, this is the Halloween/fall DIY collaboration party where we're making wreaths and treats. And it is today put on by myself, home decor by Mia, crafting away with May, and crafty Lenny. Go check these ladies out. Their channels are in the description box below because they're doing some awesome crafts and you sure don't want to miss it. And boy, if we got some treats for y'all today. And we've got beautiful, beautiful projects for you too. So go check them out, tell them I sent you, and show them some love. All right, here we go with DIY number 2. You guys, we're supposed to do a treat. Well, I have a treat for you today. We went to the KILWINS ice cream shop where they make all of these treats. Just look at those. Oh my gosh. And my favorite is that one right there. The caramel candied apples with the dark chocolate and the pecans on it. I just love those. Those are some of the best ones. And I know we were supposed to make a treat, but I have a back injury that most of y'all don't know about because I don't tell everybody. And I am not able to stand in the kitchen and cook for long periods of times and do stuff like that anymore like I used to, because I injured my back when I was a baker for Publix. So yes, I know how to make all these fancy treats, but it is not good on my back. So we went to KILWINS because you know me, I don't want to disappoint any of y'all and not have a video up because I couldn't do something. So I went to the KILWINS shop and they have a 5-minute parking spot sign. So you know I couldn't spend more than 5 minutes in there anyway. So I went in there, I asked this guy, could I please film this because I needed it for my video. He said, sure, just don't get me in it. So y'all ignore him. You're only going to see his hands. And if you see clips of him, it's only by accident. So anyway, I don't think he's going to watch this channel. And he said that he was self-conscious. So I pray for that boy that he'll be able to get over that because, you know, we don't need to be self-conscious about ourselves. We just need to be going on in life. Now, I had him slice this up for me. Now, he said, don't slice these if you're not going to eat them within 2 to 4 hours because they start turning brown. Well, you know, I wasn't going to make it to the car with it without eating it. But I did. I didn't eat it this time. It's going to look like I did when I get to this next part of the video. But I did. Now, the candy apple isn't the only treat that I picked up here that day. I went down and because I knew one of the ladies said she was going to be making Rice Krispie treats, I wanted to show y'all that you could make, and I'm sorry for moving the camera so much. I'm trying to be really slow with it so you can see everything, but I knew she was going to make Rice Krispie treats, so I wanted to show you what you could do with them. And I'm looking at them turtle looking cookie things, and then I spy the Rice Krispie treats. Up, yep, there they are with the pecans on them. And they're pecan turtle crispies. Now what they did is they covered them in the caramel and also put the pecans on it and covered them in chocolate. I picked up one of those and we're going to see those in just a few minutes.
Nope, that's it.
No, I can't even say the name of the place now. KILWINS is not sponsoring this project. This is the only thing that I could think of that I could do really quick. You guys, sometimes I get limited on what I can do, and I really have a hard time doing videos, but I do them because it keeps my mind off the back pain that I have. Now, I did not eat this before I got here. I know y'all aren't going to believe me, but I didn't. What happened was is the camera, I thought I had turned it on and I didn't. And I showed you what it looked like with all the chocolate and everything. And then I pulled out a piece and I tasted it. Now, I know you're going to think that I ate it ahead of time, but I didn't. Now, you see the apple's already starting to turn a little brown. Now, I went straight there and straight back because I can't spend a lot of time out because of my back. And so here I am tasting it, and oh my gosh, this is so good. So good. Y'all, if you ever get a chance to make these at home, make them because they are so delicious. And if you use that Granny Smith's apple, it makes them, that little tartness that the apple has with that chocolate just makes it good. Now, let's move on from talking about this chocolate and caramel and that apple. And let's talk about this little Rice Krispies treat here. Now this, I'm just going to cut it in half and show you what it looks like and all the goodness on the inside. And the chocolate, I had to pick that chocolate off because it was wouldn't sit flat if I didn't. And so I'm just going to slice into this for you so you can see what it looks like on the inside. And y'all know I had to save that half of that apple for my husband because he loves them too. And there it is in all its goodness. Now let's move on with the rest of this video. Now here we go with DIY number 3. Now that we've had our treat, we're going to start making a swag. And what I'm showing you here is how I have things laid out. I lay out my long pieces for my swag first. I take one of the wire pieces that I've taken off of one of my other flowers. I save those long pieces like that because they're good for different projects. And what I'm showing you here is one of my pumpkins was not... these two pumpkins didn't look the same, and I didn't have another one that looked the same. So I'm going to take some of my Waverly white wax, not the clear, but the white. And I'm going to go over this shiny pumpkin, and I'm grabbing my gloves. Yes, I have everything within hand's reach of my desk when I do stuff. Got them good old gloves on. Now we're going to smear some of this white wax all over it, and then we're going to wipe it back until it looks like the other pumpkin. Now here's my pumpkins. I'm going to show you that they both are now, they look a lot closer together. They're not the same, but they're close. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my long piece and some of my little sticks. Now I'm going to take this section right here, and I'm really sorry that you can't see this really good because it is in my craft room and it does not accommodate for doing larger projects, and this one's pretty large because I was making this for our booth at Avonlea, and the pictures I have at the end are when it's sitting on the table at my house, and whenever I get it in Avonlea, I will try to post some of the pictures on my community tab page. So if you're interested in seeing those in their natural setting, you know, just like the wildlife, you know, you see them in their natural habitat. This will have its own natural habitat. Now what I'm doing is just adding my filler pieces first. This is what's going to fill out the side of the swag. Now I put, you see how I turn some of those pieces so it accommodates what I want to do with it. Now I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to take these 3 pieces. I'm going to get me a little stem, and I'm going to wire these 3 pieces together and wrap them with that brown floral tape. Now that brown floral tape, I'm going to tell you ahead of time, came from the Dollar Tree, and it is awful. I could not get it to stick to nothing, but I did it for the video and aesthetic purposes, because it is going on our booth and I wanted this to look nice. So, yep, see, I can't even get it to just wrap and stay wrapped because it wants to come undone. That stuff's supposed to stick to itself, and it's supposed to be something that you use. And I'm having to really work with this because it's toast. It's done. It's not going to work anymore. So I glue it at the beginning and I have to glue it at the end to make it stay where I want it to. Then I'm going to add those 3 pieces to my original piece that I started out with. Now the next thing we're going to do is, yeah, I'm going to get a drink. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this little piece that I cut other flowers off, and I am going to add leaves to it to fill out the side of my swag. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. So I'm taking these leaves off all the little stems themselves, and I'm going to add them to this. And this just really helps because these are already on there. It's already held together, so you don't have to do anything but just put a little dab of glue on the back side of these when you attach them on. And we're just going to arrange these on here and then add them to it. Now, I'm trying to get that off the stick that it was on. It didn't want to come off, so I got me a pair of pliers and got that sucker off of there. I sure did. Now, we're going to add these in here, and then I'm going to take one of those little tufts of raffia, and we're going to add it to that last little stem that's there. Now, there's one that didn't look like the others, so we played the Sesame Street game and took the one that looked like the other one that matched the group. Now I'm going to take and add some of that glue to the back of these, and then where I added that raffia, we're going to go around the base of that so it just ties it in so that it is on there and that wire is not showing. I do this because I don't want the wire to scratch somebody's door. So I'm making sure everything's covered. Now this may not be even close to the back of that, but I just don't want something to scratch somebody's door. If it was my front door and I just painted it, I sure wouldn't want it scratched. After I added those little leaves, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create another one of these to add my little pumpkin to. And I'm going to put some of those little pick berries on it, and then I'm going to wire that into the project. Now, after I get that wired in, then I repeated the same thing on the other side, and I'm going to wire that in. Now, when I wire it to my base wire, I'm going to make sure that it's right there at the center. I'm going to start at the base of it and go all the way up that piece to make sure that it is wired on there and it's not going to go anywhere. It's not something that they can just pull off of there, or it could fall off or anything like that. And it does take a little bit of practice to get this on there and going in the direction you want it to, because this thing has a mind of its own sometimes, just like me. And we're going to get this wired on here. Now, I am no official wreath maker or swag maker or anything by the far stretch or whatever you want to call it, but this is just my way of doing things and the way I fill out and make my own wreaths and swags and stuff like that. So what you see me doing here is I'm putting the centerpiece together. Now, these brown sunflower looking things, if they ain't sunflowers, okay, but that's what I'm calling them. They look like sunflowers to me, and that's why I picked them up, because I liked them because they were fuzzy sunflowers. But you call them whatever you want to call them. This is what's working for me. Now, I'm taking my heat gun and just smoothing out all my leaves so that they work the way I want them to, and I'm building my base, like I said, for my center of this swag. Okay, so after I got all my leaves like I want them to be, then I'm going to attach them to my centerpiece. Then I'm going to add my 2 sunflower looking things. What the heck? I thought I attached them. I guess I just laid them there for you guys to look at. I was kind of seeing where things sat. I'm sorry for that, but here I am finishing up where my leaf bundle that's going to go in the center. And this is just going to fill in the background behind those two sunflowers. And then I'll add the sunflowers in. Okay, then after I get it done, I'm going to add the sunflowers and everything to the base. And I apologize because I lost the rest of the footage, but here's what it's going to look like. And then I'm going to drop them two sunflowers into place, and that's it. We'll see it at the final reveal. Now, at this time, we'd like to thank our subscribers. We love you bunches. We appreciate everything you do for this channel. All the liking, the sharing, and the big thumbs up, and having conversations with us through the comments. We really enjoy all of that, and we appreciate you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We wouldn't be a channel if it wasn't for y'all watching. And so we just want to give you a big thanks. Here we go with the final reveal and all the embellishments. Now, as y'all know, Beth and I opened up the Chic Shack over at the Avonlea Mall. We're booth number 208, so come check us out because we're doing some awesome stuff over there, and there is a lot of beautiful things to see and find there at the mall. And if you ever want to know what's going on with our channel, check out our channel lineup over on our community tab page on our YouTube channel. We'd love to have you join our family, so check us out and see what's going on.
Awesome. So you guys, if you like this content, subscribe. Hit that notification bell and give us that big thumbs up because it really helps our channel out. And we'll see you in the next episode of the Crafty Art Shack. We'll see you later. Bye.